Good to see you. Good to see you. Don't forget to double tap that screen, give me a like, share, subscribe, and a comment. Get in where you fit in. I have no intentions on doing any tarot tonight. However, that can change if anybody sends a donation to the Cash App, $ Poetic Empress, with the number 0 at the end. POETICEMPRESS 0. So how your day been? How's your Saturday been? Are y'all enjoying the videos? Did you get a chance to watch the court tarot that we're doing? That is our new segment. It's 2 a.m. No one called but some beer collectors. Hey. I put out some new videos on my poetry channel. I hope y'all got a chance to watch the shorts I put out. I do have a few more that's coming. All right. I really appreciate those that inspire me to put out videos and contents. Y'all are amazing people. Whether you know it or not, you are amazing girlfriend, boyfriends. There's something happening around the world that a lot of people are not aware of. It's kind of quiet, but it is happening. It's spreading through our nation, and we need to be more proactive when it comes to assisting others in different states, because you never know when it's going to come to your own state. What am I talking about? I'm talking about low income housing that is being demolished and is also being rebuilt, but the price is going up, and they're not offering those that have been constituents for several years the same rent rate that they had prior. They also are saying that they want to make immigrants priority, opposed to those that have been living in that the buildings as well as the residents, all right, for several years. They're also saying that they want to make those that are seeking asylum priority. That I don't have a problem with, because you never know who's under the victim program. I mean the victim program. I said it right. All right. So those people, yes, they do need a place to go. And we do have, there are programs in all 50 states that will house people, give them a new name as well, so they can start their life over. It's like being a victim, a crime victim, and they're trying to keep you protected. So I think they call it the protective, some kind of protective program for those that have been part of some kind of abuse, or your life has been threatened in some shape, form, or fashion. So we need to start being more proactive. I mean, I'm not asking you to go out there and pitch a fork or something and go before the legislator. I'm just asking you to be more conscious of what's happening within our nation. And if there's anything you can do, please do it. Sign a petition. I will put the link up later, so if anybody's interested, you can sign the petition and let them know how you feel about them making immigrants priority over those that have been residents, constituents of the community for several years. When I'm saying several years, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 years. I'm talking about people that's been there anywhere from 3 to 15 years, even 30 years. Hello, Jackson, East, Tyler, Blase, unfavored girl, Jadel, Jonathan, shout out to each and every one of y'all. I appreciate you being a part of this live. I just wanted to throw some information out there because a lot of people are not aware of what's happening in various communities as well as around the state. You know, I'm not a politician. I try to stay out of politics, but it would not hurt you to become some form of an activist, whether it be mild or aggressive. One of the things that I did speak to one of the activists in New York was this same topic, and I was asking, is there any way possible that they could get their constituents to become part of some union hall where they could actually have a spokesperson that would go in and be a negotiator on their behalf. And so I'm not exactly sure what the outcome is of that or the response because I haven't got it back yet. However, I am anticipating getting a positive response or a response that would say, well, hey, that's something that I could bring to the table and talk to the people about. They have been going up against the legislators, and I think they also have been talking to the senators in their area as well as doing petitions. If you can, once I get the opportunity to put it in the description box, if you can tap on that and let them know that you oppose against them making immigrants as well as men priority over women who have children as well as women that have been part of the community or resident of this area, that area, you know, for several years, then I appreciate if you would do that. I can't tell you what to do, but I can only give you the information of what I know. Those, like I said, that are seeking asylum, I don't have anything bad to say about that. I don't oppose that because there are people that are in fear of their life. There are people that are seeking to have a new identity because of they may be under the witness program or something like that. But to take those people that are not United States citizens and make them priority, I do have a problem with that. And I'm sure many of you will as well. So I'd like to ask you, as you come across this video, whether it's on the live or in a replay, please give a thumbs up, tap on the link that's going to be in the description box, and also let the legislation people know or sign that petition and let them know how you feel about that, because although this is maybe happening over in New York, it can also happen in your city or state where you are. So if we get on the bandwagon now, we can more likely we can get ahead of this and stop this before it make it to our own cities and states. You do have people that feel like that it's okay, you know, to come in, and they will say that they're probably private owned and operated, which gives them the ability to come in and raise prices and cause people not to have a place to live and be homeless, right? But what I know is that the government has a program where any person that owns any form of property that will house people, they can sign up for that, sign up for the program and put their housing, their apartments, their houses on that list and put it up for those that are suffering with in their economics, you know, in their with their having the economic deficiency. So what we could do is we can sign a petition. That's what I think we should do. And those people that have that ability to sign up their homes and apartment complexes for low income people, which was already there, would not lose anything because the government actually pays them. The actual pays them the difference of what they would charge. Those that are having any form of an economic deficiency. So let me tell you about what I know. They normally go by the amount of income that you have, and they only charge you a percentage of that. Once you pay that percentage, the government turns around and pay the difference of that. So let's say that you have an apartment, and you're renting it for $1,200 a month, right? And the person that is putting in an application for to become a resident there, they have a low income, and they say, okay, based on your income, you will have to pay $150 a month. You'll have to pay $300 a month. You'll have to pay $500 a month. They pay their portion. The government pays the difference. They're still getting paid the amount of money that they was requesting for that unit. So what we want them to do is to continue to be fair. If we don't speak out now on this dilemma that's happening silently in different states, cities, as well as countries, chances are you will find by the year of 2026 many people not having a place to live. And in hopes, this is my hope, that those that don't have a place to live, they will be able to own one of those Tesla homes or get them a small cabin and make home out of that. What is not known to many people that was born before the year of 1970 is that there were manufacturers that would build your home one room at a time. And back then, you didn't pay no more than about $300 to $500 per a room to be built. I can tell you about this because I have an aunt who is no longer here. My late aunt, she did that, and she built her home one room at a time until she had her a nice home. And to this day, it is still standing, and it is in mint condition. So it can be done. What I see in the future, if we don't get a grasp on this here and begin to actually stand up, not just for those that are going through this here, but for ourselves, because you never know when the tables can turn, and you will be one of those people that are in a dilemma and find yourself having being insufficient when it comes to being able to be independent and take care of yourself. I overheard, and this could be a rumor, that that our government is trying to take away Social Security as well as any form of support for those that are not able to pay their for their living as well as buy food and clothing. Now, whether that's true or not, that I do not know, but I'm just letting you know this is a rumor that I've heard, so I cannot confirm or deny it. Please double tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen, as you come in. Give me a like so others can find this video. This may not be something that's very interesting to those that are young. However, as you get older, you're going to come back and say, wow, you know, she was telling us some good shit, and we sit there and we just trashed and walked away and hollered blah, 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 because we're not interested because we're still living at home with our mamas and daddies. But when you get to the place that you are having to take care of yourself, mom and dad is no longer there, you have nobody else that you can turn to, you're going to want to stand up for yourself as well as others, because you're not just a minority, you're part of the majority who needs some aid in some shape, form, or fashion. Okay, guys? So the link will be in the description box. I pray that each and every person that come through this live will get the opportunity to take advantage of it, and let the and sign this petition and let them know how you feel about this, because just like it's happening to other people in different states, it can also happen in your own state where you are, and it could actually happen to you. So please, don't take this as a grain of salt. Don't turn your nose up and walk away, because this is a very important matter. And just because you haven't heard of it before doesn't mean that it's not happening silently in the background. I know a gentleman right now that owns about 12 homes, 12 houses. They're not homes, they're actually houses. They're made of wood. They're made on a shotgun style. However, they're much bigger than shotgun houses. If you don't know what a shotgun house look like, please go to Google and put it in, and it'll show you what a shotgun house look like. Some of them have one bedroom, some have two bedroom. This gentleman feels like because they are upgrading the property surrounding him, he has the right also to upgrade his property and charge more when his property is only, I will say, half the value of what is around him. I don't want to call him a slumlord, but I'm going to have to, because he doesn't really invest in the property as he should to make sure that those that live on his property are comfortable and safe. So we have people that feel like they can get top dollar on places that are not up to par. I know a gentleman that lived in a house for 16 years, and his back door was only secure by him putting clothing, t-shirts in between the door to hold it closed. And during the winter time, wind blowed through that door and caused him to have an enormous utility bills. So please don't shun this video. Don't shun these words that I'm saying to you. This is a true matter, and it needs to be addressed. You never know when you may be a next victim of circumstances, and you yourself may be seeking others to sign a petition or step forward and speak on your behalf. All right, double tap that screen, ladies and gentlemen, please, because there are many people that need to see this video or listen to it and sign this petition that I'm about to put on this video. I love each and every one of you. I thank everybody that's cruising through and that's coming through, that's watching this video. This is a matter of importance. If you have watched any videos or have you read any books of the past, especially books that say something about the millennium, you will learn that they're not just telling you, you're not just reading a fiction book. You're actually reading the future. And they're telling you in advance what the future is going to be. And they said those who are high, that's over, I guess you want to say, over our economics, said if you want to keep something away from a person, put it in a book, because people don't believe in reading. And that's basically the truth. If you don't read, you don't know. And you can't just read one book. You got to do a little more elaborating. You got to do some in-depth searching to get everything that you need so you can make a sound decision pertaining to whatever it may be. They talked about that in the book called Millennia, about everybody that's of importance. And we're talking about government officials and stuff living on the moon. They have a greenhouse there. They have food. They got water. They got shelter. They have everything they need there. And the people that live here are living here and they're just wandering around and doing what they normally do. And they have at their disposal a red button at any given time. They want to blow up the planet. All they got to do is hit that button and F off everybody on the planet. But if you don't read, you won't know these things. Do you think that it's just by chance that you hear every now and then about, and we're talking about back in the 80s, that they was sending a shuttle up to the moon? This is because they got people already living on the moon. They already established a greenhouse. They got running water and stuff there. You don't know this, but I'm telling you, it's already been established. And not just on the moon, there's other places as well. There are people that's already bought property on the moon. Did you know that you can travel to the moon through the shuttle $10,000 one way? That's one way. This is something that they already put in place back in the early 80s. A lot of people felt like, well, you know what? Okay, they just talking. No, this is some serious stuff. This is real McCoy. This is the real stuff. If you want to take you a trip to the moon, you just need to go through the proper channels. Make sure you pay that $20,000 if you want a round trip ticket there and back. So please don't take what I'm saying as a grain of salt and like I'm talking some science fiction stuff. I'm telling you the real stuff. And if it's been already mentioned and many people just took it in one ear and out the other, chances are you missed what they were saying. And also to read in the Book of Millennia, and the Millennia book came out in the 80s. So the book is still there, and I'm sure it's been revised and copyrighted over and over again, but that's a good read. Especially if you have a group of people, y'all can sit down and read that book. You'll learn a lot of stuff. You'll find out. Go back and watch the video called Wag the Dog. Excuse me, I got a little hiccups over here. I think Al Pacino was in that movie. And he put it all out there. He was talking about the news. Excuse me. How they use a green screen to make you to believe something that's really not actually happening. Because they have to get you to a certain place, a certain emotion, in order for others to be able to harvest certain kind of energy, negative energy. Hey, Missy Woody, thank you for confirming that. Thank you for confirming that. That's the truth. So I just want people to know that, I'm not out here just throwing some random stuff out here. I'm not talking out the side of my neck, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. I'm trying to tell y'all some good stuff. So please take heed. And there's going to be many more subjects that's going to come up. There are many more topics we're going to talk about. And I'm going to have a black screen just like it is now, because you don't need to see my face. You just need to hear the words. Because sometimes looking at a person's face is a distraction. And I want you to hear what is being said. So guys, gals, young, old, middle class, it doesn't matter, low class, whatever you can. It's time, for us to be more awakened, be more observant of what's going on around us in our community, what's happening in the government. A lot of times they throw some random stuff out there because they want to keep you preoccupied so you won't see what's really going on. Now, I will say this about our President Trump. In his first term, he talked about a lot of stuff, and if you didn't realize, our President Trump is a Gemini. He gonna say what he got to say, and he gonna throw some stuff in there, and if you ain't sharp enough to catch it, you gonna miss it. So if you're a person that's not into politics or something like that, or you don't want to hear what your president of the United States have to say, you're going to miss it. But he going to tell you some shit. You got to pay attention because you're going to miss it. He tell you about aliens. He tell you about people, beings from different planetary systems. He even tell you about clones and stuff. Hey, but if you don't pay attention, you're gonna miss it. I remember one time watching his inauguration, his first one. There was two Trumps there. Now, if one was a twin or a clone, that I can't say. But both of them signed that damn paper. They signed off on that inauguration. They both shaked hands. Maybe he had somebody that had a facelift, a face change, whatever what they call that. I can't even remember what the hell they call it. You know, and you be like, will a real Trump stand up? I don't know, but I'm just saying. And then you got to pay attention to this as well. You got all of these. They making all of these AI. AI is almost human. If you ain't using your intuition, you're not gonna know. Thank you, plastic surgery. I appreciate that. You're not going to know if AI is real or not. And oh, baby, I'm going to elaborate a little further on that. They got AI becoming where you can have as a companion, as a sex buddy. Now, a lot of y'all going to fall for that. A lot of y'all going to go for it. Like, I would like to see what it feel like to have sex with an AI. Well, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. You go right ahead. Because rest assured, if AI have sex with you, it's taking your body temperature. It knows all about your DNA, all of that stuff. They also got AI that's right now that is having babies over in China. They talked about back in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s about test tube babies. These test tube babies are actually being born through AI. These babies are not being born through humans. Why? Because they don't want them to have that attachment to a human. They're not going to have emotions as a human. And there is a possibility that these children will also be raised by AI, and they're going to be also used as military, because they don't have anybody to be attached to, meaning that they're disposable. They're expendable. They don't have no emotions. They're not going to be thinking about no love and no sex. They're not going to be thinking about being connected to nobody else. All they're going to do is do exactly what they told, and that's it. And we playing all these games and stuff on our phones and stuff, not even realize that we may be also training AI to take over. Take our place. Yeah, you gotta, I mean, come on, baby, let's think outside the box. All of a sudden one day you got a ding dong at your door and you go, hello, may I help you? And you looking at yourself. AI finna fuck you off and take your place because he feel like it's more superior than you. I remember when I was young, my mother was working. She went to work for a very wealthy company. People, they owned their own company, and they also owned apartment complexes, if I'm not mistaken. And my mother worked for these people. And even as a young child, I realized that the man that was the receptionist was not human. And I remember telling my mom that. And I'd say, he not human. I said it so many times. They was trying to like give me the hush hush, right? But I knew he wasn't human. This AI, and AI been around a long time. I want y'all to know. Don't ever think that AI just, no, baby. AI been around since the 60s. He or she has been in test mode since then, to see if they can actually live among humans without being detected. But those that are intuitive will know the difference. This AI could drive. He did not show emotions. His eyes were crystal blue. Beautiful crystal blue. He did not blink. He did not blink. And if he did, it was like he blinked like maybe once every 1 or 2 minutes. And humans blink every 3 seconds. I had the opportunity to sit in the front seat next to him on the passenger side. My mother sat in the back seat as he escorted us to where we were going to be, or where she was going to be working at. I turned around because back then you didn't have to wear seat belts. Seat belts didn't become mandatory until the late 80s. And I looked right at the man, and I was so close to him, and I was looking at him. I didn't even see him breathing. And I turned around and I said the same thing again without any fear. He's not human. So if they actually come after people, it probably would be those that are very intuitive because they can decipher the difference between AI and humans. God forbid that happens. Hey, Red Elephant. A Red Elephant say, watch the movie Demolition. The future will have several changes. Woody says, have you seen the cute little puppet that's being advertised for $39? Thank you, Red Elephant. Yeah, plastic surgery. I really appreciate that. So we started off talking about housing. And this conversation has escalated a little further because this is something, and this is a very, very important topic to talk about. We need to be more aware. I'm not telling you to be in fear. I'm just saying you don't want a mini you to take over because it got to the place where it educated itself to the point of feeling like that it is more superior than you are, and then feel like you need to be extinguished. The devil is a lie. The difference between man and an AI is that man have a soul. AI do not. AI can mimic what man have, but AI cannot be man. God put in humans or man that he created a specific thing that will help them to manifest, create anything that they heart so desire. And there is an anointing, a power that goes with that. AI cannot manufacture the anointing of God. AI cannot manufacture the ability to manifest as God chose it for his people. AI cannot manufacture what real love is, the emotion of love. But AI can be taught what love is. So all I'm saying is, guys, we need to be more aware, not just over AI, not just of the things that are being said in the government, okay? Because if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. And I'm going to give you an example. And a lot of y'all may fall off the channel when I say this here, but I hopefully you won't. When we had our president, and they call him Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, when he said back in the day, and many of y'all that's watching this may not remember this, or this is before your time. He said that we was opening up our borders. He said we was opening it up to those that are of Asian descendants. Also began to talk about that we have so many, so much, I'm trying to get the right words before I say it. We have an infestation of animals over here. If you missed that, you did not understand what he was saying. Then all of a sudden you had all of these Chinese restaurants that came up. Now, I'm not trying to get sued for what I'm saying, but I'm just going to keep it 3,000 because I actually drove up behind a vehicle and I actually seen some stuff, And I have had some friends that were from Singapore and other places that are Asian descendants that actually told me that, it is a delicatessen to eat cat. Now, If you don't know what General Tso's chicken is, I advise you not to eat it. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right? That's all I'm going to say about it. But they say cat is a delicatessen. And that meal runs anywhere in the hundreds, okay? Now, I don't know what it runs over here in the United States. If you notice, we don't have a lot of stray animals. We normally have like a more pure blood animals. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to down no race for what they eat, because we eat pig feet, we eat hog moss, and that's a turn of the stomach to different cultures. So different cultures eat different things, and it's not to, to down them or to look at them differently. All I say is that please be able to identify what you eat, if that's what you want to do. But I said that to let you know that when President Jimmy Carter, was in office, he said a lot of things. But if you wasn't paying attention, you missed it. And me being like about 13 years old at the time, I didn't miss it. You got to be in tune. A lot of people that was working for steel companies lost their jobs because when they opened up the borders, they didn't just open up the borders to Asian people. They also opened up the borders to those of Hispanic and Mexico. And then those that had positions where they was getting paid $25 an hour to work in steel factories end up losing their job because they was able to hire people that would work for half of that amount. So I'm not saying nothing that's not true. I'm telling you the truth. I lived in that era. I remember that era. And I'm just letting you know that things do change, and please listen to what is being said when your government officials are talking, whether it be a senator or Congress, whether it be our president of the United States. You don't just listen to what they say, but you have to listen in between that. And if you didn't take up any courses in college, I strongly advise you to take up a course, a refresher course, and learn what implications is and what people are implying. Be able to read in between the lines so you understand what is actually being said. Learn what body language means, because some people have practiced certain kind of body languages purposely so they can actually seem like they're being honest. Missy Woody say that fluffy little puppy acts like and moves just like a real puppy. Many will buy it. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to train or clean up after it. And you absolutely correct. Many people will do that. But how many people are aware that everything that is electronic has a micro camera in it? They started putting cameras in everything that's electronic in 1979 and above. Therefore, there's no place you can go with any form of electronics without being monitored. And then it came into play in the early 2000s where they started putting the micro things on each one of the telephone poles where they can still watch you. This is called Big Brother. That's what they call Big Brother. So no matter where you go, they can still do this. They can watch you. And then they also merged with Interpol. That's over in London, if I'm correct, where they can actually take a picture of your facial features, and they can take it and put it through, the computer and find out if you're a wanted person. Nobody ever stood up against this. Nobody went to Congress and nothing about their Privacy Act and went against it. Therefore, they feel like it's okay to do this. I am not trying to start a rebel. I am not trying to be the head of no leadership or nothing like that. All I'm doing is trying to just show the facts, as well as bring some things to y'all attention, We need to, be more aware. And if you don't stand up for something, you're going to fall for everything. If you don't do a petition, you're going to fall for whatever. You're going to accept it. And by not doing a petition, that is saying, I am in agreement with whatever you do. If you want to take away government assistance, I'm for that because I did not sign a petition. I did not let my voice be heard. And you got a voice. In the United States of America, you have a voice. I think this is the only country where you are able to speak your mind and not be reprimanded for it. So, guys, please take advantage of having the opportunity to speak your voice. Speak, voice out what it is that you're comfortable with and what you're not. We have some young people that are in their teens and some of them in their early 20s that have become awakened, and they're at the place now where they're questioning things. These are old souls that came back again because they want to right some wrongs. But if the only thing you can think about is a PlayStation, going to the nearest Starbucks and getting a drink, or hanging out with your friends and going to the movies, you're going to miss out. Some of y'all already know that you have a call in your life and you have passion about certain things, but you're not in a place yet where, or you have not been, it hasn't been developed fully or half of it where you would actually step in and start saying, you know what, we're not going for that. But when the time comes, God is going to raise you up to get in that place, and you're going to take that position, and you're going to do what is needed and necessary for your country, your city, your state, your community. I've also mentioned in many videos in the past about it's time for us to start making our own garden. Because if you don't have a garden, and it get to the place where you're not able to go buy your vegetables and stuff, maybe because of pesticide, maybe they did a recall on stuff, or something, how are you going to be able to continue to take care of yourself? Some of the healing agents that you find in medication, you will also find in vegetation. All I'm asking you to do is be more aware, ladies and gentlemen. Young and old, it doesn't matter. Red, if you're still here, if you got the opportunity to do so, if that movie Demolition is on YouTube as a freebie, please put the link in so people can tap on it and they can watch that video. Sometimes YouTube have movies on here as free. Sometimes you got to pay a little change for it. You can also buy the movie and just keep it and go back and watch it later. But I will say this: if you do not continue to pay for your premium YouTube channel and it does expire, you will lose that. I'm telling you that because I lost about 4 or 5 movies that I purchased, and I don't think that was fair. I think that if I bought them once, they should still be there, regardless whether or not I still have premium or not. And if you don't want to buy the video, you can always buy the book. Because I'll tell you one thing that's different about watching a movie opposed to buying the book. In the book, there will be more stuff that did not come out in the movie opposed to the video. So you will miss out on that. You want to do both. Hello, Karen. Karen, you asking, can you have a reading? All right. Right now, we're talking about other topics, but if you want a reading, please send me a donation to my Cash App. It's the $ Poetic Empress 0. At this present time, all readings are going for $10 for a full reading, $5 if you just want a simple reading. As soon as I get a notification, I will flip the light on. I will grab a deck of cards and give you a reading. Okay, Karen? So anybody feel like there's something that you want to add to what I've said, please feel free to put it in a chat box. I will read it out loud so others can hear it, as well as if they want to comment on it, they're more than welcome to do so. Red Elephant said, tweak your eyes to see the differences in AI. Are you out of luck? I think that movie she talking about called Demolition. I think Wesley Snipes playing that. Don't hold me to that. I think also Sandra Bullock is in that movie. Don't hold me to that. However, please watch the movie if you can. All right. They already have been talking about cryogenics, and then in the movie Demolition, if I'm correct, uh, this is what they did with those people that had who was convicted of a felony or a crime or something. They put them in cryogenics and they served their time that way. And that way they didn't have to worry about feeding them or nothing except for, through intravenous, if that's what you want to call them. So they was like on liquid food, all right, until their time was served. And after their time was served, then they brought them out. They thawed them out and they was able to go on with their life. Yes, it's Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock. That may be the same movie, but don't hold me to that, because Red may be talking about a completely different movie. Double tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen, as you come in. Give me a like, so other people be able to find us, and we'll be in the algorithm. We definitely want to be in the algorithm. Don't allow yourself to be. Don't wait till the last minute and realize that you should have got on the bandwagon when you had the opportunity. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not exactly sure where Red went. Red may have popped in and popped out. Or Red is looking for a link to the video so she can put it in here. And even if she comes in after this live is over, I'm going to ask her, I'm going to request that she still put it in the comment section so others can tap that video and they can watch it. Anything that'll be helpful to the community, please don't hesitate to put it out there, because we need to be well informed of what's going on around us, in us, and by us. You know? I think Red is still here because I see two people in the live. All right. I think everybody else done popped out. There's another video that came out several years ago. I think I know I'm gonna mess it up, so I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna try to get it. It was has something to do with uh, if you had an issue with somebody in your neighborhood or in your household, they gave you so many hours, all right, to extinct that person. It was like I can't even remember the name of it. I never saw the video. I was told about it, the movie, but they was talking about that there may come a time where, population is so great that, yeah, the purge. Thank you. That's what they call it. Population is so great that they say, okay, you got X amount of time, to knock off whoever it is. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have some silly willy motherfuckers out here. I'm sorry, I went there. They don't like you because of your hair, because you're pretty, because somebody like you, because you married somebody that they wanted to be with, because you had sex with somebody that they desired, all kind of freaky ass stuff. I mean, you're gonna have a bunch of immature people, and you need to be ready for that stuff. I'm not telling nobody to be strapped, but and I'm gonna tell you in Texas, you ain't gonna find that many people that ain't strapped. That's all I'm gonna say. So don't come down here with that dumb stuff, cause you might get a cap papped in your ass. That's all I'm gonna say about it. All right. Now I'm just gonna say you might want to get you a bulletproof vest and a bulletproof helmet. I don't know, baby. You might be want to be bulletproof all over. I'm finna change the subject right quick. I know it was our government that did this here, although I can't prove it. But that was a man. I know it's been about 20 years ago. It was two men. I'm going to say it was two men. Went in a bank and they robbed a bank. They were wearing a whole bulletproof vest from head to toe. And the police was shooting them and shooting them. And they kept on walking. And they kept on, while they was walking, they was reloading their guns and still shooting. And they showed the whole video on a national live TV. All right? And the men went two different ways. All right, they could not drop that man, and that told me right there this was an experiment that was being done to see if there was any way that you could actually wear body armor and not get killed. And this man wore that body armor. He did not die. He did not get killed. I don't care how they howl upon bullets, all of that. They was, baby, this man, he was still walking. Man looked like he was about 6'3", 6'4". Looked like he weighed about maybe 280, maybe 240, 280. Can't tell you what his skin color was or nothing, but he walked like he was upright and straight, so I'm going to say he was Caucasian, because most Caucasian people have a straight back, and they walk straight. And they have not flat feet, but they walk, I'm trying to make sure I say it right. All right, it's like their body is balanced, and if I don't want to say nothing wrong, I mean every place that they shot this man, every bullet just bounced off of him. So, I think, and this is my own opinion, you don't have to gravitate to it. I think that it was all an experiment, and they did it on national TV, and it might have been for other countries to see this here and full force, full blown, so they can see whether or not they want to buy this. Okay? This might have been also for our military, But all I'm going to say, that was a cold piece that I saw. I was like, oh boy didn't die. I'm going to tell you what he did do. What he did is that after he ran out of ammunition, he just got on his knees and put his hand over his head. And that right there said the fight was over. They couldn't take him out. They couldn't kill him. That's why I'm saying this had to be an experiment. I wouldn't be surprised if you had different countries that was making bids on this here while it was happening. 50 million, 32 million, all right, 7.5 million, because they wanted that technology. Oh, baby, this is a good one right here. We just talking about all kind of random shit. But still, all the way back, we're going to keep it going. All the way back, I'm going to still keep on going back to the beginning. I need y'all, you know, to be more aware of your surroundings. Pay more attention to the things that you hear, opposed to what you see as well. All right? Because what happening in one state can also come and happen in your own state. It could already be happening. You're just not aware of it. All right, guys. All right, I kept y'all on here for like about 55 minutes. I'm going to go ahead on and release this video. If y'all want to comment on it, if you want to watch it again, please do so. All right, I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to be no rebel. I'm not trying to start no kind of uproar. I'm not trying to be no leader of nothing. All I'm doing is just talking, okay? All right, these are my own thoughts. This have nothing to do with nothing else. This is me speaking about what I feel and what I assume, as well as whatever I said. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead on and release this video. I love each and every one of y'all. Continue to double tap the screen, give us a like, whether it be on the live or if you're watching this on replay. I see y'all in the next video. I love you. Be blessed. Let me see. Okay, I did not get any kind of notification. All right, about getting a reading. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close it. So Kieran, I didn't get your donation. So I guess you have to catch me in the next video. Okay, darling, I love you.